Hello, Assalamu alaikum, and welcome to Gul Knowledge Hub. Today is the third session of this spoken English class. And if you are attending the third class and you have already attended the first and the second class, then congratulations to all of you, all of the viewers, because you are ahead of millions of people who are just thinking, who are just procrastinating, who are just planning that someday they will learn, but you have already initiated this journey of learning English language. So congratulations to all of you from my turn. Now what's exciting about third day, what you are going to learn in this mega episode of third day, you will learn two obligatory structures. Why I call these obligatory structures, I will define it later, and some fun practice exercises, some common mistakes often taken and often committed by the English learners. You will find example sentences, some practical sentences, and after all, we will not end this session futilely, uselessly, because we are trying to include in this session 5 example sentences, 5 vocabulary words with their explanation, with example sentences, how to use them in a correct way. And don't forget to receive your homework for today's task, because today's session will be ended with some homework for you, with some assignment for you, and that will be the most important part of this video, because after doing each and everything, now it's a learner's task to do your assignment, and you have to perform your assignment in comment section. And now we are going to start our session. We are going to explain, and we are just exploring the third day. Are you excited? Let me know in comment section. Are you curious what we are going to study in today's session? So let's get started without any further ado. And number 1, we are going to study a rule: have to. When we do not want to do anything, when it is a requirement, it's a requirement. When it's a necessity, when it's an obligation, sometimes we are forced to do different tasks we do not want to perform, then it's a requirement, it's a necessity, it's an obligation. That's why I call this rule an obligation structure. Have to, with I, we, they, you use have to. With singular, he, she, it, and with third person, you use has to. Now coming towards the examples. For example, I and structure is have to plus verb first form. Have to or has to with verb first form. For example, I have to wake up early in the morning. No one wants to wake up early in the morning, but it's the requirement. If you want to get success, if you want to lead a successful life, peaceful life, if you want to achieve many kind of achievements, you have to get up early in the morning to go to school, to go to your office, to go to your university or college or workplace. So it's a requirement. Now next thing is, she has to finish her project by tomorrow. Now it's an obligation. She is doing her work. She is doing in a company. She is doing her job in the company. It's her obligation to finish the project by tomorrow. Now you are understanding what is requirement, what is obligation. Now the third thing is, you have to be 18 years. You have to be 18 years to vote. It means that it's a requirement. You have to fulfill the requirement. You have to fulfill the necessity. You have to fulfill this obligation, this requirement to vote. Now you are understanding what I am trying to say you. You can also use she has to. Now I have utilized she has to. With singular, he, she, it, or with third person, you have to use has to. In order to do a work that is compulsory, in order to do a work that is a necessity, that is an obligation, and that is a requirement. You do not want to do, but you have to. You are forced to do. Now coming towards the second obligatory compulsory rule, and that is the use of have. Use of have. It means possession. It means possession. It means ownership. When you own something, when you possess something, it's called possession. For example, I have a pen. It means it's my possession. It is in my ownership. I have a whiteboard. It's my possession. I have a mobile phone. For example, I have a house in the city. This house belongs to me. This house is in my possession. This house is in my ownership. I have a house. This shows the ownership. They have a large collection of books. It means they possess a large collection of books. He has a lovely garden in his backyard. Now remember, with I, they, we, you. With I, they, we, you have to use have. With he, she, it, or third person singular, you have to use has. For example, he has a lovely garden in his backyard. How beautiful would be the garden? A beautiful garden, a stunning garden. Now, the company is also a singular. So, company has a fleet of luxury cars. A fleet of luxury cars means a collection of luxury cars. Do you understand this concept? Now moving towards the fun practice exercise. This is a session and I will allot you the time to think and then to answer this worksheet. And you have to let me know in comment section that how much score you have got in this practice session, in this fun practice exercise. For example, first session is about has to and have to. You have to decide whether it comes have to or has to. So the very first is she finished her work before watching TV. Now just decide has to or have to. Your time starts now. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Let me know in comment section. We be at the airport 2 hours before flight. We be at the airport 2 hours before flight. Now, whether you would use have to or has to, your time starts now. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Let me know in comment section. Last one. He wear a suit to the job interview. Now decide has to or have to and let me know in comment section. The last fun exercise is about possession and possession. You have to decide whether you would use has or have, and I am going to explain with he, she, it and singular. You have to use has. With I, they, we, you, and with plurals you have to use have for ownership, for possession. For example, I, a pet dog. I, blank, a pet dog. Let me know in comment section. She, a beautiful smile. She, a beautiful smile. Whether you would use has or have. In comment box. They, a big house. Now you would use have or has. Let me know in comment box. He, a large collection of vintage cars. Whether you would use has or have. Your turn, and you have to let me know how much score you have got out of this practice session. Now coming towards the most important part, some common mistakes. First you have to do your explanation, some explanation sentences, done exercise, and now it's the time to do your some mistakes. For example, he have to go to store. Remember, with he, she, it and with singular you have to use has. You have to use has. With plural you have to use have, and with plural you have to use have. With singular you have to use has, and with plurals you have to use have. Now vocabulary time, the most interesting time, and I would recommend, if you want to be really fluent in English, you have to use these 5 sentences in a paragraph form, a short paragraph. Utilize these sentences and write down in comment box, because it's your exercise time, it's your rehearsal time. First, meticulous. Meticulous means paying attention to details. Paying attention to details. When you are very curious, when you are paying attention to the details, it means you are meticulous. You are meticulous. She was meticulous in her work, ensuring every detail was perfect. When you are paying high attention on the details, then it is meticulous. And then it is meticulous. Ephemeral, second, ephemeral. Ephemeral means transitory, lasting for a short period of time. A thing which lasts for a short period of time, that is called transitory, that is called ephemeral. And you have often noticed the fireflies glow was ephemeral, lasting for a few seconds. Have you ever noticed? Now the third thing is inscrutable. Inscrutable means difficult to understand, mysterious. The ancient hieroglyphics was inscrutable, puzzling the archaeologist. Inscrutable, difficult to understand, so mysterious, so mysterious. Next, fourth, whimsical, playful, fancy. The whimsical, playful, fanciful illustrations in children's book delighted the readers. Now, inquisitive. Curious and interested in learning. The inquisitive child asked million questions from his parents about the universe. First, meticulous. Second, ephemeral. The third, inscrutable. The fourth, whimsical. The fifth, inquisitive. Now it's your assignment to produce at least 5 sentences with have to and has to, where you are going to show the sentences with obligation, with necessity, with requirement, and 5 sentences out of ownership, where you are going to show the sentences, examples with ownership, with possession. Hope you have understood a lot of things and your concepts are crystal clear now. And with this positive note, and are you waiting for the 4th session, where we are going to discover causative. What is causative? How you can find the examples, some common mistakes, practice session, 5 vocabulary words, and at the end of 30th session you will learn a lot of things. Lot of your concepts will be crystal clear, I hope. And with this positive note, I certainly end this video. Till the next video, stay happy, stay blessed. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.